You know what? Here's what I'm going to say. Are you guys ready? I'm going to trigger the fuck out of all of you. This is what I said when I say this a lot and people get really triggered. I always said that even when I was working poor, and I'm totally admitting this is just my life experience, okay? When I was working poor, gas prices were never a make or break for me. Like when I think of like, I can't afford to live, I'm losing my house, etc. It was never like, oh my God, I spend so much on gas. It's just never been a factor for me. But I know that like, but it was strange during the Biden stuff. Like everybody seemed to obsess over like gas prices. Now people are also saying that maybe the cost of like other food goes up when gas goes up. I guess maybe. But when I was working, I always drove small cars. The one thing that always triggered the fuck out of me when I saw people complain about gas prices climbing was, why the fuck are so many poor, dumb fuck Americans crying about gas when all of you guys drive trucks? It was the one thing that I never understood. I could never, ever, ever get it. All of these people cry about gas prices and they're driving these huge, disgusting trucks. And I'm like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you when you tell me that gas is expensive and it's hurting you when you drive these gas-guzzling monster fuck vehicles. Fuck all of you. And I drove around my little Dodge Neon, my little Volkswagen GTI, my little whatever. I don't know. That was my thing. I think that the Zoomer equivalent of that, ready? Here you go. Here it goes. Here we go. If you DoorDash more than once a month, I don't think you can ever complain about inflation. Boom. There you go. If you DoorDash more than once a month, I cannot believe how expensive it is. How much do you think I spent yesterday? Yesterday when I DoorDashed my cheeseburger from Five Guys. I got a double cheeseburger with bacon. I got a small fry and I got a Coke Zero. How much do you think that costs? I don't know why I asked all chat. Now you all spam every fucking number. For that one meal, it cost me $39. I'm pretty sure that if I really tried, I'm pretty sure that I could live off less than $100 a month in groceries. If I really stretched. I think I could. $25 a week? Probably not on Miami Beach. If I'm doing like rice and beans and shit, we're stretching. But I know for $200 a month, very easily, I could live off of $200 a month for groceries.
What's up, Destiny? Can you say
easily?
Happy birthday, Jonathan.
The idea that I, as one person on one single meal, can easily spend $30 or $40 on like one DoorDash fucking not even a great meal, is fucking wild. It's absolutely fucking wild. How much does the meal cost if you go to the place? I don't know. For some reason on DoorDash, for all these meal things, it's literally like $15, $20 in markups on like random shit. But anyway, yeah. Fucking Zoomers that do that shit are wild and then complain about inflation. How long was your commute when you were working poor? If you had an hour or two commute due to traffic, that's a lot of gas to go through being stuck on $4.95. $4.95? I don't know what that means. Back then it was $5.15 an hour, $5.25 an hour, I think, when I worked at McDonald's. I actually commuted... I'm trying to think. I lived in South Omaha off of 42nd and L. So it was 42nd and L to the casino. Although I lived up at 108th and Maple before in Omaha. Probably like a 30-minute commute. It was a decent commute, I think. It took me about 20-30 minutes, which is like a decent Midwest commute. Now, if you live in any of your cities, it's like 2 hours to go fucking 10 miles. But in Nebraska, I think you could do over a mile a minute, I think, depending where you're going. Because you just hop on the interstate and it's not like super crowded. But yeah, I always drove compacts. I always drove small cars. I never understood people that drove, like, when I see one person sitting in a minivan or an SUV, I'm just like thinking, like, what the fuck are you doing? It's just, it blows my mind. Destiny, my family is all working poor and they have to drive a lot for their small business. Family works in landscape. Yeah, if you have to do that shit, it's probably different, right? I don't think gas prices were high in my carpet cleaning days, but I imagine if they went up there for the carpet cleaning van, gas prices would probably start to get pretty shitty, but... Do you have to pay gas for your van?
80,000? It's actually 45,000.
No.
Really? Yeah.
Obviously not.
Does that shock you?
I think, did I tell you? I didn't realize the game to be played. I thought I got ripped off on my carpet cleaning shit Because my wages, by the time I factored in everything, I'm not going to tell this story, but like by the time I factored in how much time I was spending at my carpet cleaning job, I was basically making like $250 an hour. I was kind of fucked. And I was like, my life is getting destroyed over this shit job. I didn't realize, and I don't know if this is true of all small businesses, I didn't realize that you were supposed to be stealing from the fucking company though. And they had like fucking priced that in basically. That people would take their carpet cleaning vans, they would drive out and they would sell jobs at massively discounted rates to customers, but they would pocket all the money. I didn't know that people were doing that. Because I had always wondered, like, how the fuck do you guys make a living doing all this carpet cleaning shit? And it's like, oh, we sell jobs out of our vans without like telling the boss. It's like, oh, well, fuck me, I'm a fucking retard. So you might charge a customer like $300 for a job, and my commission was 16%. So for a $300 job, it's probably taking you 3 to 4 hours, and I'd make $16 an hour for those 3 to 4 hours, but it doesn't include downtime before or after. So I might make, we'll say $48 on a $300 job. However, another person would go and sell that same job for $200. They'd give them a $100 discount. So customer saves 1/3 right off the top, but then they pocket the whole job. So I'm making, $30-$40 off a job. Another guy might make $200 off that job, and he's not telling the boss about it. I didn't know any of that shit. He was like, fuck, I didn't know that until like the end of my carpet cleaning days. I don't know if everybody does that in small business shit or like contractor work where you just like sell jobs out of your own shit. But fuck. As a personal trainer, people try to do that all the time. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Oh, a guy did it to me when I talked to a personal trainer at the fucking in California. He's like, oh, dude, I can train you at like a different gym, but we can't do it here, and you can't tell anybody. It's like, oh, okay. It's, I know this game. I've heard of this one before.
Kind of crazy.
What I think is interesting about this is that these women work and their answers are so reasonable compared to the women in previous videos. I can say things where like, I don't actually want to. I don't know. Well, it sounds mean, and I could be post-talking it. I was going to say something at the beginning, but maybe what somebody said in chat influenced me already. When I look at these women...
Crazy to think about.
I guess it's probably...
No, I can't even when I say this. It feels like I'm post-talking this so bad. But like, I feel like when I look at these women...
To like put on, believe that it's easy to...
Like these women look to me like they're like middle-class women. That they just... I don't know why or how.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Or maybe I can't. We should do like a thing where I look at videos and try to guess the income. When I look at the... I'm not saying they look ugly. I'm just saying there's like a... When I looked at the... What was the crazy income one where they talk about like 500K and shit? Oh.
Fully off of your... Sure. What percent...
This person... I don't know why. This person just looks rich to me. I could be wrong, and maybe there's like a bias, but like I would see this person like, oh shit, like your parents are lawyers and they're the poorest ones in your family tree probably. Like that's how wealthy this person looks. I don't know if it's like the perfect teeth, if it's like the perfect hair, the perfect skin, the kind of like fashionable clothing, the like
of the family.
And I think almost everybody in these videos looked like
I feel
like these people all look rich. I don't know if it's designer clothes. I don't know, or like the jewelry. They just look. All of these people look like they come from very, very, very wealthy backgrounds.
Lens would be super cool.
Like very prep school, very not like new money, like wealthy families. That's like the impression I get. And then these people are all saying things like
in the media,
like oh, like I want my husband to have like 500K in income and shit. But then I look at them like, yeah, you guys all look really wealthy. Whereas for some reason I feel like these people don't as much. But I could also just be post-talking all of that. Maybe I just make this all up in my head. I don't know.
You got.
So I'm saying you don't know why. You know what you're looking for: clothes, makeup, and so on. Yeah, but it's not It's not just that. I feel like when you're wealthy, I think that there's probably two things going on. One is kind of shitty, is you probably are working with a higher set of genetics. Get mad. But second is you can afford a lot of stuff for your kids relating to their health that probably comes out in appearance-wise. Like, so for instance, like your teeth. Like wealthy people always have like perfect teeth for their kids because they're always getting like braces. They're making sure they've got good dental health. You're never going to find like if you go to like a prep school or like a private college or even for expensive state schools, you're not going to find people with like fucked up teeth. That just doesn't happen. Like incredibly, incredibly rare. So that's usually a thing. Their clothes oftentimes look very new and nice. Not necessarily like, I'm not talking like Gucci or Prada, like designer shit. If anything, those people come off as poorer to me, or like they're trying to flaunt some bullshit that a guy bought or whatever. But they just look like very nice. Like I feel like I could go to like an alumni function event or some shit, and I would see them sitting there with like their wealthy parents. Like there's just like a way that they look, where it's like, damn, these are like prep school kids, super wealthy prep school kids. That's what it looks like to me. But also, Oh, and the way they speak, very educated. They speak very well. But I could be post-hocking literally all of that. I could be post-hocking everything I just said there. So, yeah, I don't know. He has thought a lot about this. I went to a wealthy prep school, and the girls that I dated came from other wealthy prep schools when I went to college. No, not college, high school. I went to Creighton Prep in Omaha, and then like all the girls I dated and everything came from like Marianne Duchesne and Mercy. Was that the other all-girls high school? And people at prep schools, because my friend Chris was like a poor Mexican dude. He sold weed. So we would always my family background by the time I got to high school was fucked. We were getting kicked out of houses and shit. So me and him would always it was probably a cope, I guess, when we were younger, but we would always make fun of like prep kids and how prep kids looked and their lifestyles and their families, whatever. Like when we go to like Kyle's house, like his mom is like making dinner in their big house for their family that's like all perfect and everything, and then me and Chris would go drive around and like fuck around and just do wild stupid shit because our lives were fucking weird as fuck. But there was like it was a very different world. Like wealthy people just live in like a different kind of world and ecosystem. Everything in their lives are different. Their cars are nicer. They don't have check engine lights on all the time. None of their phones are getting shut off. They've always got one parent in the household checking in on you, making sure everything is okay and cooking meals for you. Their siblings are always like in sports after school and shit. It's like a whole different world when you've got like wealthy families versus like kind of like busted families. I don't know how to explain it, but like because I kind of had like one foot in both worlds when I was doing school, and you kind of see like the differences in lifestyles. I guess it's a whole different ecosystem of existence between like wealthy prep families versus. But I'm saying prep because I went to prep. I mean, I'm sure there's like billionaire families and everything, but yeah, it's just like a totally different. Yeah.